Hey guys, so in today's video we're doing a full face of trying out new makeup. Just as a disclaimer, just because some of these products might not work for me does not mean that they will not work for you. It's just a personal reference, and with different skin types it just depends on that as well. So I hope you guys enjoy and let's get into it. So the first product I'm going to try out today is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So this, they say it's a putty, but it's more like a pressed in cream product. And so we're just gonna rub our fingers and get some of this on them. Okay, so first impression is you do not need to push as hard as I thought you did. And just gonna spread this across our face and see how it feels. You do need a good amount of this product, I feel, because it's very thick and it doesn't glide on as easily as I wish it did. But I do feel it filling in my pores on my chin and my nose, where I do have a problem with that. So far I like it. We're gonna see how it keeps the foundation on all day though. So for foundation, we're going to go in with my Milani, with the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. I've heard mixed reviews on this foundation, so we're gonna see how it goes. This is very light though, so I might have to mix it in with the CoverGirl and Olay Ageless foundation. But I mix in such a small pump, it will not make a difference on how the foundation goes on. So I'm going to mix this in with my flat stipple brush and apply it to my face. This, as well as the primer, is very thick, and I feel like I did not need as much as I put on, but we'll see how it blends in. So I'm going in with my big foundation brush and just blending this in. I say this is a medium to full coverage, but it definitely can be builded up. And that's what it claims to be, is a medium coverage foundation. But once again, I like more like liquidy and lightweight foundations. I feel like this one's gonna be very heavy on the skin. But we'll see how it lasts throughout the day. Next up for concealer, we're going to try two different ones. We're going to do one eye and one eye. For a lot of our face products, we're going to do this just because I have more than one product to try out. So for my right eye, I'm going to use the try out the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. My shade's in Porcelain. And this is supposed to be a dupe of the Tarte Shape Tape. So far it looks like it with the big doe foot applicator. So we're just going to apply this to the under eye. For the other eye, I'm going to use the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. My shade's in Fair. This, once again, as well, looks very big like the Tarte Shape Tape, but the doe foot applicator is very small. The one problem I do have with this is they are different shades. This one's a bit lighter. The ColourPop one's lighter than the CoverGirl one, so I just added a bit extra. And I'm going to bring the ColourPop one down to highlight parts of my face. And then we're just gonna blend that in. as it's all blended out, I find that they blend out very nicely. The ColourPop one's way thicker and like stickier than the CoverGirl one, but both are very good. This one is lighter, and they both seem to be about the same amount of coverage, which is pretty medium to full, and you can probably build those up as well. So far I like them. So next, moving on to powder, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Pressed Powder. This is the Photo Focus one, and my shade's in Warm Light. So I'm more used to loose setting powders, but I have used pressed ones in the past and I have liked them. So we're going to see how this one works for me. So we're just going to grab that on a big powder brush and just apply it all over the face. So for the powder, I do like it. I find it did sit down my makeup very well, but it did leave my face leaving a bit still sticky, which I'm not a big fan of. So I think I am going to apply a bit extra in the cheek areas where I'm going to apply powdered products, because I do not want it to still feel sticky there. But I think this is the reason why I like loose powders more, because I find you get more product out of them. You can choose how much you get out of them more than pressed powders. I feel like you have to rub it a lot to get the product off, but if that's just my opinion. If you guys don't mind that, then this will probably work for you. For the face, for bronzer, I'm gonna start with the Tarte Sugar Rush Hannah Meloche palette. So this is the face palette, and this has blush, bronzer, and highlighters in it. So I'm going to basically use the bronzer as my bronzer today. So basically, I'm a very Hoola bronzer girl. I've used that same bronzer for 3 years. So I'm trying out a new bronzer today, so it's very exciting. So I'm going to go in with the shade Beachin, which is this bronzer right here, and just apply that. Okay, right away I can tell you guys I really like this bronzer in this palette. It blends out so nicely, and it just leaves your skin looking bronze but still looks natural. So I do have to say I really like that color. For blush, I'm going to do one side, a different one. So I'm going to go in with the blush in here. I'm going to go in with this lighter, not sure yet, this one up here, which is Starlight. And this does have a bit of a shimmer, and I'm going to apply this onto my right side. So this gives a nice pop of color to your cheek, but also gives a nice shine to it. So if you guys are into that, I love it, but it's just a personal preference. For the left side, I'm going to go in with the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Blush in Count Me In. I've never tried a ColourPop blush, so we shall see how this one applies. So this is a more of a cream to powder blush. Which I've never really used. Okay, so this one's way more pinky than the other side. So we're just gonna add a bit of that one to the other side. I think it applies very nicely. This one's just a little bit too pinky for me, but I think you just have to go in with a light hand, but it is an amazing blush. For highlight, once again, I'm going to do half and half. So on this side, I'm going to go in with the Hannah Meloche palette once again, and I'm going to use To Go, which is this shade right here, and apply that to my right cheek with my fan brush. And then for the left side, I'm going to go in with the ColourPop Super Shock highlighter in Flexitarian. I've used their highlighters before and I've really liked them, so hopefully the shade goes just as well. So we're going to apply it once again with our fan brush. And just apply it. Okay, that's very highlighty. We definitely applied too much. Okay, so I love this highlighter. It's very, very highlighty. So going with a light hand with this one, but they're both very amazing. So overall, I think the ColourPop highlighter and the blush are both amazing products. Just going with light hands with both of them. And the Hannah Meloche Tarte Sugar Rush palette, I absolutely love. I have no complaints for that one at all. So I think it's time to move on to the eyes. So I'm just going to prime the eyes. I don't have a primer or anything, so I'm just going to go in with my Wet n Wild concealer and just prime them. Perfect. So for eyeshadow today, I'm going to try out the ColourPop Going Coconuts palette. So this is a 9-shade palette. And it is $12, which is a very affordable price range. So that's the shades. So I'm going to first go in with Shredded, which is this beigey color right here. And I'm going to put this all over my lid. And this is just going to sit down the concealer. Right off the bat, I can tell you guys that these are very powdery shadows. So just once again going with the light hand. But if you guys are ones that don't like to tap off your eyeshadow brush very much, then you guys won't like this. But it's something that doesn't bug me. So for the crease, I'm gonna go in with Lovely Bunch, which is this just natural brown color, and just apply this to the crease. And then just take a little extra and just run it under on the lash line. And do the same thing on the other eye. And then just take a little extra once again and run it on the lash line. So to add a little bit of a darker shade into the crease, we're gonna go in with Shell Yeah, which is this more like reddy brown. And just apply this into the inner crease. And do the same thing onto the other eye. And just run a bit on the lower lash line. So for the inner corner and a bit onto the lid, we're going to go in with the shade Cocoa Crush, which is this very pink sparkly shade. And we shall use a flat brush and go in with some spray. And this is very pretty. It's very metallic-y. But it blends in well. And then just to make sure it's all blended together, we're going to go in with our Morphe blending brush and just make sure they're all blended. And do the same thing on both eyes. Perfect. No complaints for this at all. I find they all blend very nicely and they all give a nice touch to the eye. So I recommend that palette. And the next thing I'm going to go in with mascara, and this is the Voluminous Carbon Black by L'Oreal. And I'm just going to apply this to my upper and lower eyelashes. And do the same thing to the other eye. For a drugstore mascara, it's like very, very cheap and it seems to do the job very well, so I recommend this one as well. So that is the finished look. I'm now going to move on to the lips. So for lip liner, I'm going to try out the ColourPop Lippie pencils. So I have the whole set here. And there's 40 shades, so we're just going to pick a color that works with the shade I'm going to go in with today. So the shade I'm going to go in with today is Songbird, which is a wine color from ColourPop. It's like a winey red color. And so these are the lip crayons, and these are the Lippie pencils. So for the Lippie pencil, I'm going to go in with more of a nude shade because that just ensures that it will just stay on. I think I'm going to go in with this one. So this is the Lippie pencil in Oh Sis. So I'm going to go in with this shade. So I'm going to apply Oh Sis around my lips as a lip liner. Some people just like to line their lips. I like to apply all over the lips just in case if the lipstick does wear off, then you're not left with just lip liner around your lips. You have it all over your lips. So now I'm going to go in with Songbird, which is the wine color, and this is the Lippie stick. So as you can notice, these are not the same colors, but it doesn't really matter because it's just something that's underneath to make it stay longer. This is a color I'm not exactly used to. I'm used to more like very nude lips, but I'm not complaining. I really like it. I like how it looks. And now I'm going to add the lip gloss. So I'm going to try out the Fenty Beauty by Rihanna Gloss Bomb, and mine's in Sweet Mouth. So I'm not exactly sure if this lip gloss is going to go with this lipstick, but we shall see. And it's not a big deal if it does not. Overall, this gloss is very nice. It's not sticky at all, and it doesn't really leave as pink of a color as I thought it would, which is good. It makes it match more with this lip color. For setting spray now, I'm going to go in with the Morphe X Jeffree Star setting spray, and this is in the smell Starberry. And we're going to spray this all over the face. So this is a can that looks like a hairspray can, so that's quite interesting, but apparently it's supposed to have a very fine mist, which I love, so we shall see. So The strawberry scent's not strong enough to like give you a headache, which is good. And it's supposed to make your makeup stay longer than most setting sprays, so we shall see if that shall happen. But overall, this look is very nice. I like it. And most of the products worked very well, but I'm going to check in with you guys at the end of the day when I'm removing this to tell you my actual real thoughts and how they lasted. Okay, so after having the makeup on for around 11 hours yesterday, I realized I had 3 products I wasn't the biggest fan of. So to start off, the Wet n Wild pressed powder, the photo focus one, just was not a go for me. I did not like this at all. It did not set my makeup at all. My makeup just was flaking off and just like picking off in areas because it was not setting down. I had to reapply this on my face a couple times throughout the day, and I ended up giving up and applying a powder I love. So this one, I feel, if I open it up and you look at it, I used a lot of this in one day. So I don't recommend this product at all. Maybe it's just a preference for me, maybe it's my skin, but I just did not like this at all. So the next product that I'm not sure if I really loved was the Morphe X Jeffree Star setting spray. So the original one I have as well is the one in the black bottle. I've heard no bad reviews on it at all. So I'm wondering if it's just this specific one, the X Jeffree Star one, because my face was sticky all day, and if I touched my face, something was coming, like the setting spray was on, like sitting on top of my face and didn't really sink into the skin like it's supposed to, and it did not keep my makeup on. I find the primer did, but the setting spray just laid on top of my skin. But in my personal opinion, I think it's just this version of it, because I've never heard a bad review on the Morphe one, or maybe it's just my skin type does not work with this specific setting spray. One product that is very sadly did not work for me, but it will probably work for you. I have problems with my eyes, so whatever product or there's a certain ingredient in drugstore mascara that just does not work for me. So the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara just did not work for me in any way, shape, or form. My eyes were watering and itchy, but this is not because of the mascara. It's not the company's fault. It's my fault. My eyes just don't react well to this sort of mascara. So it's not a fail for me. I'm just saying for me, it personally did not function on my eyes, but it will for you guys. The lipstick stayed on my lips so well. The lip gloss was amazing. The lip liner stayed on so well. I drank things and everything and it just stayed in place. I reapplied it once throughout the day, which is very well for an 11-hour wear. So I recommend those. The eyeshadow ColourPop was amazing. The primer I recommend. Everything else I recommend. The concealers were amazing. The foundations were amazing. It was amazing. So those are the only 3 products that I would say did not work for me personally. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not already, please subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new upload. Thank you so much, and see you guys next time.